I DIY'd these really adorable Halloween costumes, but I don't want to call it cheating because DIYing for our kids most definitely should not be a competition. But I did buy myself a major shortcut in these green sweatsuits. They're from the Gap, not exactly a model of sustainability, but I'm rationalizing that they'll be worn beyond just Halloween, even if I have to remove the dino elements. They've got these nice spiky dino spikes along the hood and all the way down the back, as well as an applique tail that actually detaches because it seems like that part might get pretty annoying pretty fast. For my spikes, my pattern piece is a triangle with a 1/2 inch rectangle on one side. I used a triangle that is 3 inches wide and 2.5 inches tall. It's cut on the fold along that rectangle side, and 1/4 inch up from the fold is my sew line. I opted to measure and cut my pieces directly on the fabric because that seemed easier than tracing the pattern 20 times. I laid my fabric flat, folded it up at little more than 3 inches, marked every 3 inches, a 1/2 inch up from the fold to indicate the edge of the rectangle portion of each piece. I then measured and marked the top point of the triangle 3 inches up from the fold, and then I cut to connect those dots and disconnect each piece. To attach each spike, I first folded my cut pattern piece in half along the rectangle portion, right sides together, and drew a line 1/4 inch up from the fold on both sides. I then laid the spike flat along the center back of the hoodie, right sides facing. I sewed it in place along those two lines. Then I pinned the two triangle points together, wrong sides facing this time, and sewed those triangles together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, stopping about an inch from the end. I added some filling, then sewed that hole closed. I repeated that along the hood and back of the hoodie. For the tail, I cut out a few random shapes for appliquing in one color and a rectangle in the other. I used regular old Elmer's glue stick instead of pins to hold them in place. Then I top stitched them down. I folded the rectangle right sides together along the shorter ends and eyeballed a curve along one of the non-folded corners, which makes the pointy end of the tail. Eventually, I decided to go back and make a smaller curve along the other non-folded corner as well. This just made the portion that attaches to the sweatshirt a little narrower, which I felt looked nicer. I trimmed off the seam allowance, turned it right side out, and stuffed that with filling as well. I folded in the raw top edges and sewed the top closed. To make the tail detachable, I sewed 2 little snaps. I used fabric scraps I already had on hand, but I'm really happy with the way the colors worked out. I'm honestly really pumped about this project generally. It's certainly not couture level construction, but that's part of what I liked about it. It's kind of nice to be able to focus on whimsy and delight and less on fit and practicality once in a while. I highly recommend giving it a try if you're interested. It came together really quickly, and the 3-year-old in my life is very excited about it.